and speaking of time, Bitcoin isn't a spring chick. I mean, Bitcoin Network launched exactly 13 years ago today, I believe. Yep. And you yourself just testified at this hearing on Capitol Hill about cryptocurrency and regulation. What are you preparing for? Is this year going to be the year, 13 years later, that real regulation happens?
I don't think it's all going to come like in one day on 1 year, but I do think that there's going to be a lot happening this year. We've already seen a lot happen last year, but a lot of that has been preparatory. We've seen a lot of different governments announce that there will be regulatory frameworks coming out over the next year. We've seen a lot of them make statements about crypto, and all of the major financial regulators in the United States and the lawmakers are investing heavily in their knowledge of the sector. I think that you're probably going to see the first batch of it coming out in 2022. I think you're probably going to see some clarity on stablecoin regulation. I think you're probably going to see some stuff about markets regulation with the SEC and CFTC. And I wouldn't be surprised to see some statements about asset issuances, although I also would guess that that's going to stretch over into the next few years.
Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and that was Sam Bankman-Fried. He's the CEO of FTX, an exchange that's been around just about 2 years, and it is exploding with growth. Also, Sam is very free with his time. He does a lot of interviews. I think he's really focused on building his brand, and he's a great ambassador for the space. I think many other people think the same, which is why he is so popular. Even Swell had him as a speaker at their, even Ripple had him speaking at their Swell event this year. Okay, so regulation, he says, slow, but yeah, it's going to be life-changing. Yesterday's video was a bit heavy for me, just so you know. I'm going to go on the lighter side today. I need to have some fun. And this is the first tweet that I'm going to share with you that comes from Tony Edward of Thinking Crypto. Yes, we do know who Gary Gensler's daddy is and who really runs the SEC. He's here in the arms of Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan. Love it. Oh, gosh. And I just want to tell you that there is some bullish news. That news is coming by the way of a very big whale. This is a Bitcoin wallet, the third largest BTC wallet. It now has 5.6 billion. Wow. So just in the last 24 hours, a new purchase of 456 more Bitcoin. The average price was 46,363. Many are saying that this price is signaling the bottom. I hope so. This wallet, well, it has been, it was activated back in February 2019. It's been accumulating since April 2019, when Bitcoin was just $3,405. We have come a long way. But look at his buys in comparison to the red price line here. So you can see, there we go. There's where we are now. He's been timing the market pretty well. Pretty well. So Gary Gensler is going to be giving a keynote at Northwestern University in Chicago, Monday, the 24th of January, followed by a panel. Listen to this. On the panel, there will be Hinman. Yes, the William Hinman, who gave the famous green light speech for the SEC. Oh, no, sorry, his personal opinion while he was at the SEC. And none other than Mary Jo White, who is currently on the Ripple defense team. Wow. Their topic is going to be what they expect the agency's approach to its mission will be in 2022. And the mod will be none other than Mr. Snappy, the former SEC Commissioner Robert Jackson. Now, why do I call him Mr. Snappy? Listen to this.
Because full transparency, I'll tell you, if I were making the decision, you can't snap your fingers and make that rule. to the state or to the affected consumer immediately. Everything I'm describing to you, you know already, but I say it to you tonight because I want you to realize that it is also a limit of what the SEC can do institutionally to stay abreast of fast-changing markets.
Yeah, I told you I was going to have a little bit of fun. Okay, well, we hit a trifecta today. That's horse racing talk for picking 3 winners in a race. AMB Crypto published an article with quotes and tweets from Tony at Thinking Crypto, from Charles Gasparino at Fox, and from Stu Alderati, the general counsel at Ripple. Watchers of the SEC versus Ripple case have their eyes on January 19th. That's the last day for the expert deposition. And I think there is just one part of this article I want to point out, and that is Charles really gets it. You can see here, he knows that a win for Ripple and the XRPL community will put limits on the SEC enforcement power over crypto. A government win and the commission's powers are enhanced to the point it could go after Ethereum. That is so true. We're going to jump to a new story that just happened in the last 24 hours, and it's with NFTs. Now, let me tell you 2 things about NFTs. One, we really have to credit the NFT space for pushing some mass adoption into the blockchain smart contract space. The second thing is, it's not showing any signs of slowing down. Yes, there is a division that is occurring, and that division happens in the traditional art world. And what I mean is that among the millions of creators that are making beautiful pieces every day, just a handful really stratosphere to the level of being called an investment. And it looks like the Bored Ape Yacht is one of those that you could call investment art. Keep your eye on it. It just crossed the $1 billion mark in total sales. It has 10,000 in their collection. So many famous people are buying these pieces. And Eminem bought one for $462,000 on January 3rd. And within the last few hours, MK, a very talented DJ, just made a decision to be a member of the Bored Ape Club. And let me just show you what he purchased. This is the piece he chose with the help of Steve Aoki, who is also a very famous DJ. And I think his shopping skills were pretty good. Yeah, you know, this one really stands out. He purchased the piece for $53,321. That would be approximately 14 ETH. And when you go to OpenSea and take a look at what is on the market right now, you've got this one 2 days left, already at 47 ETH. And here is one at 88 ETH with just a day left. Wow. 22 ETH, a day left. And this one is sitting at 45 ETH. And it is very different. Wow, I don't know how you feel about it, but that's okay. You don't have to love it. What you do have to love is the adoption rate that is occurring because of it. That helps everyone who is in this space. All right, I am jumping to a little bit of community news because Minus and Moon were together today in a very short and sweet video, 13 minutes long. But I can tell you that they are really hardcore community members. They talked about the XRP Ledger sidechains, the coming Hooks Amendment, the Equilibrium Games project, Evernode. I mean, this is the kind of really hardcore XRP community talk that I really love. You can't find this on mainstream news at all. And that's why I value so many of these community members. This is Minus Wells Crypto YouTube channel. All right. We are officially jumping into the fluff. And the reason why I chose to talk about this is because tomorrow is a big day. Tomorrow, the first tuna auction is so important, and it signifies everything going back to business after the new year, but it also the price, the final hammer price. They don't use a hammer. Do they use a hammer? I've been to the auctions a couple of times many years ago. I don't think they use a hammer. I don't remember a hammer. So there's no hammer at the auctions there at the fish market. The final price kind of sets the mood for business. It's, I don't know, maybe, like anything, it's kind of it's not superstition, but it just sets the mood for the coming business year. And years that there have been big prices on the tuna have turned out to be big business years. And then when there are low prices on the tuna, it kind of sets the cycle in motion. So we really look closely at that tuna price. This is one that took place in 2020, and it was 1.8 million. It was, interesting, right? So I will be sure to report on that final price for you. And for those of you who are thinking, oh, don't talk about the bluefin tuna, I need to tell you that in Japan, since 2018, the farming of bluefin tuna has been occurring, and it actually is 26% of the market. So this is creating a sustainable future for sea and life. And I just want you to know that they don't do just bluefin either. Amberjack and salmon and one more, yellowtail. Yeah. So they started this with R&D all the way back in 1987, but they have now been able to successfully go from egg to harvest. And I was just looking at this video here. I'm going to get myself out of the way here. I'm going to just show you that this is some shots of the actual farmed tuna, and it's very, look at them go. Very cool. Now, I want you to notice something. When he was eating his sushi, this is going to lead me into the second part of the fluff. Let's just get him back where he's at the sushi bar. Okay. Did you notice here? Did you notice that he was eating with his hands? I want to just point something out, because I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but eating sushi with your hands is the correct traditional way. Now, my mom always said you can break the rules if you know you are breaking them. So she meant to say that, if you're breaking a rule and you don't know it, that's bad. But if you are fully aware of the rules and you decide to break the rule, that's okay. In her book, that was okay. You make that decision. So when you do eat sushi in Japan and you want to do it the traditional way, and the way that you probably would be admired for, they would say, wow, this person really knows. You want to eat it with your hands. I thought too, it would be really helpful to just talk about a couple things that go along with manners in eating sushi. The second thing is when you dip your sushi into your container or your sushi dish, you never do the rice side. You always flip it over. And also too, this is a rule that you can break. If you want to put wasabi in your soy sauce, you can. If you go to a really high-end sushi bar, the chef will sometimes kind of look down on that, because they are doing their very best to present that piece of sushi in a state of preparation that is just perfect to eat. You shouldn't have to add any more wasabi. That's just a little tidbit. But of course, if you want to, you can. Also, when you do start with your sushi, this is really getting into the finer details. And again, you can break it, the rule. But in Japan, to do it traditionally, you would start with your light your silver skin or your light-skinned fish first. That would be the aji, kohada, sama, saba. That is how you start. The silver skin fish is traditionally how you start. And then you move to the stronger taste. And in between that movement of going from taste to taste, you can take a piece of ginger off. The ginger is there not to chow down on. It's there to clear the palate in between these different tastes, because some tastes go stronger and some are oilier. So that is what the ginger is there for. I do see some people just, plow right into the ginger and eat that as they're waiting for their sushi to arrive. But just so you know. And then if you're going to order something to drink, again, break the rules. You should be able to order whatever you like. That's what I think. I think this pairing business is a bunch of craziness, because what you like is going to be the best pair. I'm just a real strong believer in that. However, if you go to a sushi bar, particularly a higher end one, you're going to have a choice of beer, wine, champagne, and nihonshu. Now, if you order sake, which some people call sake in the West, that's cooking wine. So if you're in Japan and you want to drink the sake, you want to order nihonshu. And then if you ask me, should you order it hot or cold? That again gets down to taste. I'm always drinking mine ice cold. That's just the way I prefer it. But I know that a lot of Japanese people like to have warm sake in the wintertime. So it's really up to you, truly up to you. But maybe that if you're going to go into the traditional pairing, nihonshu is where you want to go. But again, you should drink whatever you like. And the last thing I was going to mention is that if you just feel a little unsure what to order, or you are not afraid to go without any prices, go to a really nice place and ask the chef for omakase. And what that is that he decides what you're going to get. You'll get one piece at a time, and he'll just keep bringing those pieces out until you order your tea. So ordering your tea signifies that you are done eating. And there isn't a price list. So what should you be prepared for? That's a tough question. I think if you go to a decent place in Tokyo, expect 200 US per person. That's what I would just be prepared for. But there are places, if you search, there are omakase places that have a kind of a set menu, and they're under 100. You can even do lunch sometimes for 30 to 50. So don't be too scared of the price, because the experience is fantastic. It's the most polite way to eat sushi. It gives that chef a chance to really show off his skill, and to also show off what he bought at the market. And these sushi bars pretty much go to market. Market is closed one day of the week, but and sometimes on holidays. But those fresh catch are really coming from the market on a daily basis, and the chef knows what is best. So to leave it to him, which is what omakase means, I leave it to you. That makes the sushi chef so happy. So happy. Not because he's going to give you a bill that is crazy at the end, but because that is really what they're there to do, is to show off what they have decided to bring into their place of business. And that just shows you trust his choice. Yeah. All right, everybody. That's it. Do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.